Hi guys! Thank you so much for applying to Team Corn this summer. We are so excited for the 2020 season, and we can't wait to see all of your wonderful faces. Unfortunately, we are not going to have orientation meetings per se because of the pandemic, just trying to keep everybody safe. However, though, we are going to have orientation pickup packet meetings to give you the information you need, and also I'm hoping this video will be able to provide you with the information along with the packets so that you feel perfectly confident for your first day of detasseling. For our returners, welcome back! We're so excited to see you. There are some changes from last year to this year, so please pay attention also to this video so that you know or exactly are up to speed on what we are doing this year. Okay, so like I said before, all the information that I'm going to say is in the packet that you're going to pick up for your orientation meeting. So that's awesome. You can read it and you can also listen to it here. Before we get started, I'd like to introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. My name is Caitlin Stratman, and I am the area manager for the Harvard Woodstock area, which kind of includes Rockford and Marengo and Belvedere and the whole shebang up here in the northern part of Illinois. And so this, however, video is more encompassing to all areas of Team Corn. The specifics that we need to give you will be either on the postcard, such as bus routes, or you can ask your personal area manager. Okay, so I'm super excited, lots of information for you, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. First things first, we're going to talk about paperwork. This is all of the paperwork that you need to, one, work at Team Corn, and two, get paid. So you're going to want to get this stuff in. If you need extra paperwork, you can turn stuff in either by bringing it to the orientation pickup or by sending it via mail to the Team Corn offices in Princeton. The address will be on the Team Corn website. But this year we're not really going to be accepting paperwork in the fields just to make things a little smoother. Here are the forms that you are going to need. Number one is an application that comes with like a parental agreement. So the application everyone needs to fill out. Doesn't matter who you are, what you're doing, if you're a returner, newbie, whatever. You need to fill out the application. If you're under, I believe, 18, there's also like a parental consent that that your parents need to sign, saying, yeah, they can work. The other things you need are a lot of tax forms. So you have your I-9 form, which with your I-9 form, you need two, I would say, forms of identification. Usually this is what it means. So you need either your birth certificate or social security card, or copies of them. And then you also need either a school ID, a letter with your name on it, or another form of identification. The specifics of that can be found online under the I-9 form, but we need copies of those or need to be shown them during the orientation pickup thing. The other tax forms you need, two more. You need your state W-4 and you need your federal W-4. Those are two separate forms. You need to get both of those done. Last but not least, at work every day, you will be asked to sign in. That is super duper important, so make sure before you go home for the day that you sign in on the piece of paper. The piece of paper kind of just says, you know, we are following correct safety procedures, as well as like says, hey, I work today, pay me, kind of thing. So usually we put them out at the beginning of the day, but just make sure before you leave you sign a piece of paper every day. Okay? That is what your paperwork will be like. And once you get all of that, you will be good to go. Again, make sure you either turn it into your area manager crew leader or you send it via mail to Team Corn in Princeton. Now I'd like to go over what your season will look like on a whole. So the seasons usually start in the first part of July. For my area, which is the Harvard, Woodstock, Belvedere, Rockford, Kirkland, Genoa, all that, Loves Park area, our tentative start date is July 6th through the 8th. However, that is always subject to change. Wonderful farm work privileges, I guess is the way to say it. But so what we will do is we will call you, your crew leader will call you and give you notice of when you're working at least 24 hours before, hopefully 48 hours before if possible. They'll just call you up and say, hey, guess what? Your crew is working on this day. Are you able to join us? Just keep in contact with them if for some reason you need to miss a day or something isn't working schedule-wise for you. If you're in contact with your crew leader, that they'll just be able to update you on when your crew is working next. Another awesome thing that Team Corn has done for us this year is they will put on their website what crews are working the next day. And so if for some reason you don't remember what your crew leader told you about when you're working, you can always check on teamcorn.com and they will have the schedules and who is working every day, and it will be updated daily too. So after that point, after the first day, you will find out when you're working either at the end of your current workday or online. A season usually lasts about 2 to 3 weeks, and so you're usually done by the 1st of August. Maybe go a day or two into August depending on the workload for the season. Next, let's look at what a typical day will look like for you as a detasseler. So every day, or every day your crew works, we will pick you up from your designated bus stop. Remember that crews are assigned by where you get picked up. So for example, if you get picked up on the Rockford route, you're part of the Rockford crew. If you get picked up on the Belvedere route, you're part of the Belvedere crew. We ask that you don't switch buses because that can get very confusing for us on the payment side, which is never a great thing. So once you pick a bus stop, go ahead and stick to that. We promise that all buses get a relatively equal amount of working time. So the crew that you decide to be on does not really affect how much you're going to get paid and how much you work. Okay? So you get picked up at your bus stop at the designated time every time your crew works. Those times and spots can be found on those postcards and also in your orientation packet. Okay? I would suggest the first couple of days getting there 5-10 minutes early. Just it's smarter to be earlier there than to be late. We don't usually hold up the bus for an individual if they are running late, just because we need to get the show on the road. So just get there early if possible, on time, and that will be the best way to assure that you are on the bus and you're ready for the work day. We pick up at the same time every day, but the amount that we work every day just depends on what kind of work we have that day and how efficient we are. So a typical day for a detasseler, you're done in the fields from 1 to 3, which means you are home from 2 to 4. Again, there are always exceptions to this rule. So sometimes we get done early enough that we don't even have lunch and we come home. It all just depends on how efficient we are and what our workload looks like for the day. You may bring your cell phones to listen to music. However, if they are lost or broken or destroyed, that is not on Team Corn. We are not responsible for any lost or stolen merchandise. So what I would suggest is maybe don't bring it. If you need to use a phone to contact your parents when you're going to get home, the crew leader, bus driver, or area manager will always have a phone on them. So you are more than welcome to use ours and not risk bringing yours and maybe having it lost or stolen. Additionally, we work in all types of weather. That being said, we are never going to put you or your child in danger. So we'll work in the rain, but if it's thunderstorming out, we will try and wait out the thunderstorm. We don't work in lightning or thunder. The time that you spend waiting on the bus, after it exceeds a certain amount of time, you will get paid for. So that's exciting. So again, if you wake up in the morning and it's thundering, lightning, raining, do not assume that work is canceled. Still bring your kid to the bus stop. We will keep them safe. And if it looks like nothing is coming or nothing is going to clear up, we will bring your kids home. So just trust us. We will never put you or your child in danger because first and foremost, your health and safety is the most important to us. Last but not least, this is different than in past years. With sickness, again, if your child has a fever, we need them to be fever free. That means no fever for 48 hours before they can come to work. This is just making sure that the sickness has left their body and they're no longer contagious to other workers. In addition to that, we have a different protocol this year for those individuals who start not feeling well in the fields. Usually, we have them come back and sit on the bus until either they feel better or the day is done. However, due to the circumstances of this pandemic, that is not going to be our procedure this year. This year, if you're not feeling well in the fields for whatever reason it may be, we're going to have you go to a designated area, which we will tell you either at the beginning of the day or the beginning of the season. Usually it'll be like a shaded tree with water or some sort of area where you're not going back to the bus, but you'll wait it out at the area, talk to your crew leader and area manager, but then we are going to call your parents or someone who can come and pick you up, just in case for some reason it is in the best interest of everyone to keep them safe. If you are just, you didn't eat breakfast this morning, your stomach feels bad, you go home, you pound a couple glasses of water and you feel way better. As long as you're fever free, you are welcome to come back to work the next day. But just in case, again, in the interest of your health and then also the health of the rest of the workers, that is our new procedure for individuals who get sick in our fields. Okay, so now I'd like to talk about what you should bring or what you should wear to detasseling. This is not an all-encompassing list, but these are the things that we suggest and that are the more important ones. Remember that you can carry things and put them in a backpack and leave them on the bus if you don't want to bring them into the field. So, bring them in a backpack. You can always put things on, take things off. Just keep that in mind. So first of all, let's go over things to wear. I tried putting pictures because usually we bring things to orientation meetings to give you kind of an idea. But now I'm going to try out some pictures. So some things to wear. We always suggest as clothes go, lots of layers because you can always take things off if it gets hot out, but you can never put things on that you don't have. So in the morning, it tends to be a little cooler and there's dew on the corn, so it tends to be a little wet as well. So things we suggest are if you got a rain jacket, bring a rain jacket. Some people like these things, we call them frog togs, but they're just kind of a little waterproof layer. But to be honest, a garbage bag with your head out the top and cutting holes in the sides for your arms works just as well. Other people tend to wear sweatshirts when it gets cold in the morning. As the day progresses, it's nice to be able to take those sweatshirts off or maybe sweatpants off. And a lot of people tend to wear athletic shorts, t-shirts. Some individuals choose cutoffs, but we suggest lighter colors than darker colors because the darker colors will absorb the sun and make you that much more hot. Other things that we suggest that you should bring, a hat, it's great protection from the sun, not only for your face, your head, but also your neck. So, we've got this nice little Vikings baseball cap here, but a lot of other people tend to wear either sombreros or hats that cover both sides, both their neck and the front. Other things for footwear, I didn't put on tennis shoes, but that is usually the most common choice. It's just an old pair of tennis shoes. Again, they will most likely not be usable after the season, so don't pick your favorite pair of tennis shoes. A nice old pair will be great. However, some people do choose to wear either rain boots or work boots, especially in the mornings when it might be a little muddy from the dew. However, I would bring tennis shoes regardless, just to change into, because wearing rain boots all day can get a little difficult. Other things to bring, some individuals prefer to wear gloves. You can easily get gardening gloves at Walmart or another gardening store for very cheap. I would suggest the ones that have kind of like the sticky part on the palms, because when the corn's wet, it's easier for you to grab the corn than if you just have the regular gardening gloves. Other things that you can bring, some people bring bandanas, which are really good for keeping your neck cool. and also could double as a mask this year. This year we are requiring individuals to wear masks on the bus. So you do not need to wear the masks in the field, but when you are on the bus in that enclosed area, we do require you to wear a mask. So if you do have a bandana, you are welcome to use the bandana. Otherwise, any sort of mask or facial covering will work as well. I'm trying to think. That is all so much for what you need to wear. Again, layers is good and light clothes is even better. Things to bring. So most likely, you will have a lunch every day, or a time to eat a lunch. If not, you'll have breaks for sure. And to keep your body going, and working at its top capacity, we strongly suggest that you pack a solid lunch. You can bring in a lunch box, you can bring it in a paper bag. Does not matter. A lot of food is better. It's always suggested to pack more the first couple of days because you can always pack less in the future. But if you don't have the food, obviously you can't eat the food. So more is better at first, and then you can kind of figure out what food you're going to need throughout the day. We also strongly suggest that you bring your own water because, with the heat, it's very easy to get dehydrated if you're not constantly fueling yourself with water. And so there's a couple different ways. You can bring a regular water bottle. These water coolers are a gallon, and they're very cheap at like Walmart or a Target. They're lifesavers. You can take them right in the field with you. Same for the gallon jugs over here. And then some individuals prefer to carry the water with them in the field, and so these hydro backpacks are also a common sight to see in the fields. The other two things I want to stress about bringing is one, sunscreen. It gets hot and it gets sunny, and so it is always great to have your own can of sunscreen that you can put on to protect your skin. Not only does it protect you from getting sunburnt, but it protects you from getting, heat stroke or things that come with like the elements of the sun. So please do consider bringing lots of sunscreen. Also, last but not least, bug spray. Depending on what area you're in, depends on how many bugs you're gonna encounter. In our north area of the Illinois, up at Harvard and Woodstock, we don't really have that many fields where we deal with a lot of bugs, but just in the off case that we do, haha, off, please just make sure you bring a can of bug spray. That way, if the bugs get nasty, you are able to fend them off with the bug spray. Those are the items that are the most important for you to bring and wear during our detasseling season. All right, so now we get to talk about pay. Super duper big changes this year. So please pay attention, returners, new comers, everybody. This is new. So this part is the same. You are still getting paid on a bi-monthly system, which means any work that you do through the 1st of 15th of a month will be all on one check and set 8 business days after the 15th. In a similar fashion, all the work that you do between the 15th through the 30th will be on one check, or 31st, excuse me, and that will be sent out 8 business days after the last day of the month. Any work that you do, or any bonuses that you might get after that are going to be sent out on a check 3 weeks after the last day of the season. So you should get all of your compensation either by the end of August or the first week of September. Make sure that all of your addresses are current because that is the way we send you your checks. So if for some reason you move during this time or your address changes, make sure that you call Team Corn and get that situated. We pay from the time that you begin in the field to the time that you end in the field. We pay for the breaks, but if we have lunch, we get a 30-minute non-paid time. So otherwise, you are paid from the time you start in the field to the time that you end at the end of the day. Okay. The wages this year are different. We are paying based on age this year. So if you are 12 or 13, you will earn $8.50 an hour. If you are 14 to 15, you will earn $9.25 an hour. And if you are ages 16 and up, you will earn $10 an hour. So that's super exciting. Definitely a pay raise all around, and we're really excited for this new change. Another change is the bonuses at the end of the year. This year, the bonuses are not based on how many days you work, but how many hours you work. And so you will get a 25-cent per hour bonus if you work more than 40 hours, or for every 40 hours work, excuse me. And then after 80 hours, you'll get a 50-cent per hour bonus. After 120 hours, 75 cents per hour, etc., etc. And again, these checks with the bonuses are sent out 3 weeks after the last day of the season. Okay, so just some last notes. First things, just so you are aware of the names that we use in the field, or the titles that we use in the field. There are a few different layers to our company. So we have the regional manager. They usually set up, manage, train, and kind of follow all the aspects of all the crews in the company. You might not really get to interact with a regional manager or region manager at a detasseler as a detasseler. Another layer down is an area manager, such as myself. We usually manage a group from a certain area, so around 2 to 6 crews. We work with you to make sure you guys are efficient, to help you know what you're doing, and just kind of make sure everything runs smoothly, handle any problems that might arise. So, for example, I am the area manager of the Harvard, Woodstock, Belvedere, Rockford big group over here in the northern Illinois. And I will be there in the fields with you, but you might not see me the whole time you are there. Okay? Just I'll pop in here, pop in there, pop in here, pop in there. Additionally, you have a crew leader. Now, this person is very important to you. They are the leader of your crew. And so think of them like a teacher. Like, they're with you the whole day. They help teach you what you need to do. They're great to instruct. If there's any sort of misbehavior or problems that arise in the field, they're your first contact. They're also the one who calls you to tell you if and when you are starting. So the crew leader is very important for you. And then additionally, we have a bus driver. Those are the individuals who obviously drive the buses from your stop. It's just good to get to know them. They're wonderful people, and they do a lot for this company. So that's super duper exciting. Kind of to tailspin off just the last couple of notes. Team Corn, just as a reminder, does not tolerate any misbehavior, lewd behavior, or any sort of issues that may arise in the field. We absolutely do not tolerate fighting or violence of any sort. And so if one of these problems may arise in the field, it can stand for grounds of a loss of a job. So I just ask that you all respect each other, respect us as leaders. We will respect you. And that way, the 2020 season can really just go the best way possible. So we just ask, again, for your respect on our part and best behavior, and we will give you the same. So if you have any problems, though, anything tends to arise, contact your crew leader, your area manager, or you can talk to Team Corn at their offices in Princeton. All of the contact information that you will need is on the website, teamcorn.com. Phone number, email, and mailing address. Those things being said, I am very, very, very excited for this upcoming season. I'm so thankful that you guys have chosen to be a part of our company, and we wish you the best of luck on your first day. Bye!